Hi folks, you're looking at the timeline in my video editing suite. And the reason I'm showing it to you is that some people might not understand the video editing process and perhaps not realize the amount of work that goes into some of my projects. This is the timeline from my last video entitled The Sexual Revolution for the 8-Second Attention Span. I spent a lot of hours making this. I found it's probably the best thing that I've ever done over the years, and I've been on YouTube in various incarnations for several years now, and I thought it was time for me to speak out, because this is the last video that I am ever going to make, and I will explain why this is the case. And you can decide for yourself whether I am being fair or whether this is a case of sour grapes because it's somebody who can't get any views on YouTube. I don't monetize my videos. And I don't monetize them simply because I don't like advertising. I don't like watching advertising on YouTube, and I don't think other people particularly are fond of it. Now, when they came out with the YouTube Red, I said, excellent, okay, I will pay $10 or $12 a month, whatever it is, to access ad-free content on YouTube. Sure, it's better than cable, it's a better deal, right? You know, there's more content on there, supposedly. But what I have come to realize in my approximately 5 years on YouTube is that, how do I put this? I'm a little angry right now. And I'm angry at, a huge faceless bureaucracy that is YouTube. And I'll tell you why I'm angry. So much of what I see is very poorly made content. So much of what I see is what YouTube seems to want you to see lately. It's not what you choose to see so much, because that is becoming less and less. The number of suggestions for channels gradually shrinks until they're trying to make it basically like a cable television thing. Well, I made a couple of videos in the past that were humorous. I thought they were humorous. Whether you like my sense of humor or not is probably, matter for debate, I suppose. But aside from that, I made some videos criticizing Google and YouTube, and saying that big corporations should be broken up into smaller, more democratic entities. Much like Bernie Sanders wants to do to the big banks. I mean, I think all large corporations beyond a certain size need to be broken up into smaller entities. But, I never really believed in Milton Friedman or the Tooth Fairy. So, aside from that, this is my goodbye to YouTube, and I've made many friends over the years, and I realize that GoogleTube, Alphabet Tube, whatever the hell they call it now, will never allow me to have an audience. And they won't allow me to have an audience because they don't like the message. Many people will say, this is sour grapes because it's a guy that can't get any views on YouTube and he's just pissed off because he has no talent and his films aren't worth watching and blah, 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 blah. No, I have gone out of my way to learn how to do this stuff, right? I mean, I've learned some computer graphics, video editing, how to add music to it. I mean, for God's sakes, I've had so much education over the years trying to improve the channel. Oh, I've even, had, look at this. Look at this. don't ever buy this stupid book, because I had to. It was a gift certificate from some store that I'd never go to, and I said, oh, how to be a hit on YouTube. Well, you can follow everything you want, but if Google don't like you, and if Google don't like your message, you're never going to get anywhere. And if you can't make money for Google, or it's not enough that they're an enormous corporation that has enormous power, that has absolutely no accountability to the people that use their products. Absolutely no accountability. You can't get a hold of these people. You can't, they like to project themselves as some kind of benevolent force for good in the universe. Yes, they're a force for good, as much as I would say that, fracking is a force for good in our economy. But aside from that, I'm so angry. This has just been an exercise in frustration. Hundreds of hours over the years, hundreds of hours making videos. Why? Because I'm an egotist? No, I'm not an egotist. I'm not a narcissist. I like the creative process. I'm also a painter. Well, I haven't been in a long time because I've been more involved in making my artistic statements with video. And the thing that's really frustrating is I don't want money for it. I hate appearing on video. That's why most of my videos, I don't even, some of the talking heads ones, yeah, and this one is an exception. What I like about it is the creative process. And part of that creative process is getting feedback from friends and people that watch it. But if they don't show up in my subs feeds, how is anybody ever going to know that I'm putting up video? I cannot tell you the number of times that I get people saying, I didn't know you were making videos. People that have been subscribed to me and following me for years, all of a sudden, you're still making videos? I didn't know that. They never show up in my feed. Okay, Google, you're not making any fucking money off of me, all right? I realize that. I'm in Canada, they don't have YouTube Red. As soon as they do, I will pay the $10. And in exchange for that $10 or $12 or whatever the hell it is, I expect to actually have somebody give a damn. Well, folks, I want to thank all of my friends that I've made on here. And over the past 5 years, I've made some friends, I've made some enemies, and it's been really fun for me. And I can't keep going and spend 100 hours making a video in order for 18 people to see it, which is what it was at the last count. It's gotten ridiculous lately. They disabled the monetization on the last several videos that I've made. I don't monetize, as I've said before, but they show whether you can monetize it. None of my videos anymore are allowed to be monetized. Okay, so that shows you that they are controlling content one way or another, and they are trying to become the next mind control big TV network, which there already are. What chance does a small creative person have just to gain a bit of an audience, just to make it worthwhile maybe to spend all this time creating content that I think is enjoyable and people might like? Is that so terrible? I'm not doing it for narcissism. I'm not doing it because I expect to have a huge YouTube channel. I just want my friggin' subscribers to be able to find my videos in their feeds. Is that so much to ask? Apparently it is. So, well, it is with much regret that I can't do this anymore. I just, the creative urge has to be put somewhere where I have an audience. I could paint a picture and stand on the street corner and get more people to pay attention to it than the videos on this huge, enormous platform that is so rigidly controlled. So rigidly controlled. You would think that they could have some public service sort of channel section of YouTube that wasn't about making money or commercialism or, but no, it's Google. It's Google. They want everything. They want to run everything. They want to run the monetary system. They're megalomaniacs in the truest sense of the word. And they claim not to be doing evil. Well, if they were doing evil, you wouldn't find out about it on YouTube, that's for sure, would you? So anyway, there's my sour grapes goodbye to YouTube. And it's been fun. Thanks. Thanks for all the people that subscribed, that left great comments, that so many good people out there, and people that have helped my channel out or tried to help my channel out. I've had people saying, I've shared this all over the place, but you're still not getting any views. What's going on? So I don't know. It's all a game. It's all a ridiculous game. Anyway, this was supposed to be a really short video to say goodbye, and goodbyes are never easy. So I'll just say fare thee well, and maybe one day we'll have some sort of a free media, but that day has not yet come. We delude ourselves when we think that YouTube has somehow created the democratization of media. It really, really hasn't. Unless you're a libertarian and a Stefan Molyneux fan. He really doesn't like me, and he's got a huge channel, so anyway, any potential YouTubers, if you want to stay in Google's good books, don't ever say anything bad about libertarianism. Don't ever say anything bad about Google or any of its associated programs, because Google is the world's largest censor. Thank you for listening. And thanks. I'll leave all my videos up in case anybody still wants to have a laugh with one or two of them. And I will still be lurking in some strange little corner of the internet. Bye, folks.